Symbol U, of course, for Unity. And it was one of the darlings for quite a while. And then it fell out, and the stock was $40 not that long ago, traded all the way down to the 52-week low of about $14. So that's pretty ugly. But then Roaring Kitty comes out, Pete. And Roaring Kitty, for those of you guys, I'm sure many of you do follow, there's what Roaring Kitty posted, Pete. And it's a Rick James song called Unity. Well, the name of the company that he's talking about is Unity. So I don't know. I think this guy has, Ryan has a great sense of humor, Pete. But I think he also puts things like this out so that the SEC, who has gone after him in the past, can't say, oh, you were giving unlicensed or unregulated securities advice. He's like, all I did was tweet a Rick James song. If anybody read something into that, well, that's up to them.
Roaring Kitty has had a really good cape on during the last, 4 years now? I mean, It's unreal, John.
Somebody last week bought a 1.3 million share block. That was about almost $30 million worth of stock when they did that. Then all of a sudden, you get this Keith Gill guy who puts this, his name, of course, on Twitter is Roaring Kitty. He really did a great job with Chewy last year, and he caught a pretty nice move out of that one. You guys know him, I'm sure, for GameStop and so forth. But when he says something's stacked up a little too heavy on the short side and he wants to get a squeeze going, all he has to do is put out a clue like this and he gets that squeeze going, Pete. So I think Unity is one you want to pay attention to, folks.
And I don't know how long the squeeze will be here. You never know that, obviously. I mean, that's something none of us can know, but it certainly is a squeeze, at least as of today, John. The shorts aren't massive. They're 5 to 6%-ish or whatever. So it's not massive shorts. We're not talking 15, 20% of the outstanding stock or anything like that. They do have a huge debt to equity, however. It's about 68%, something that, is more on the negative side, and they lack earnings. That's on the negative side. So there are some negatives out there. But if he can get this thing to move and continue this move, John, if indeed that's what that was, that cryptic message was, well, certainly this could have a pretty nice run to the upside. And some of those shorts are going to start to panic a little bit. But how much will they panic? I have no idea. It's a really interesting way for him to put this out there in this cryptic way. And like you said, he can just say, hey, I'm a huge Rick James fan. I don't know what you're talking about. So I don't know. We both like Unity, I think, as a company, but they've never really reached what a lot of folks were looking for. And some of our best friends have loved this stock early on when it really made a great move to the upside. It's been hammered. This little bit of a spike to the upside, it's not huge, but it's enough to get people a little interested, and certainly people talking about Unity, but I'm staying away from this one, John.